So you can, sit, you can lie down. I mean, oftentimes when people are feeling not well or anxious, lying down with the legs bent is really helpful, or in a chair. Less likely, although one can stand. But just adjust yourself so that your spine is in the median line, that you feel this quality of alertness of the spine, but not with the efforting, right? So not with the efforting. And then just sit and know that you're sitting, feeling the touchstones of that part of your body that connects to the earth. And let the earth support you. Let it provide some relief, some spaciousness. The other day we had talked about moving beyond survival mind and survival mode. And if you sense any gripping, any armoring, see if you can relax into those places and just feel the earth again. Let the energy of the mind run down through the seat of the posture, but let the wisdom rise up. Let the wisdom rise up. And from that wisdom, perhaps a sense of spaciousness, a sense of clarity, a sense of ease will come. Untangle any tangles. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine to all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. And may I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist, until all sentient beings are enlightened. I vow to be here to serve them all. And then when you're ready, allow your eyes to open if they were closed and stretch out your legs. So we're going to do some of it. It's not the same sequence, those of you who are here on Tuesday. I do want to start, I'm going to give you a choice. For those who are here on Tuesday and we went through all those supine poses of Supta Baddha Konasana, Supta Swastikasana, Supta Virasana, or everyone can do Viparita Karani. And the reason why I want to do those supine poses, it'll take some time, equally probably as long as I want to prepare the legs for Padmasana. So remember, sit on enough height so that your legs are actually in a forward bend and your upper body is more in a back bend and your legs are in a forward bend. And we'll start with the feet hip width apart. I find that most people need to take at least what I have here, a blanket and a bolster. Some people need 2 bolsters. If you need head support, take it. And it's always a good idea, as we've been doing a lot the past few months, of interlacing the hands behind the back of the skull at the OA joint, spread the skin. Now, if this should bother anyone's back, then do naturally flat. So we'll go through the leg positions as it will help establish the leg positions that we're coming into today. Okay, so let's see. So you'll need a wall and you're about 4 to 5 inches. Val, it looks like you could have a little more height, no? It looks a little low to me. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. Okay. All right, I would just say maybe another blanket or you don't have to make the, yeah, just no, maybe not doing it that way, Val, just do it like this. So it's half, so it's less thick. Oh yeah, that's it, good. All right, Lana, good. Remember the diaphragm, this is a posture that is very relaxing because when the legs are on the wall, it provides that sense of ease with spread across the diaphragm, the muscle of respiration. And of course, the feet are hip width apart. So again, appreciate the head The shoulders on the floor, the neck relaxed. You can spread the skin as I talked about. That's good, Luna. Scoot a little bit closer. Ideally, the whole leg belongs to the wall. So if you can hold the bolster on its sides, bend the legs to the wall and push a little bit further so that your whole body will be against the wall, that's ideal. I find this really helpful. Try to practice this, I'd say at least 3 times a week, if not more. Good. And to, again, emphasize unfolding the backs of the legs into the wall. We worked on that 2 weeks ago. If you need to do it flat, that's fine. Good. All right, now take the legs like 3 feet apart. Gail, if the one leg belongs to the door, it won't matter so much. I mean, try to have them equidistant from your pubic plate. Yeah. 3 feet, not too wide. Line, it looks like the right leg is a little further out than the left from my vantage point, but I could be wrong. Good, Peggy. All right, these look good. I really just want you to feel the space that this creates in the body and the mind, because the diaphragm is spread. You can really relax into this posture if you can access that space. Narayan, the meditation teacher from Cambridge Meditation Center, talks a lot about creating space in the body, making room for what is. Okay, now again, observe the diaphragm when the legs are more in that Upavishta Konasana, not quite as wide as Upavishta Konasana, but wide. And then in a moment, you'll make the comparison between the legs being hip width apart, a little bit wider as you're in now, and now dropping the heels into the perineum and Baddha Konasana. So personally, I find that this pose, I feel the spreading of the diaphragm the most in this pose. It feels like the diaphragm is really like this very long, rectangular in shape in terms of the length. And if you're struggling in Viparita Karani, then do Supta Baddha Konasana, Elenia, or Supta Virasana or Supta Swastikasana, the ones that we did on Tuesday. Put your hands on your inner upper thighs and take the inner thighs away from each other. Sometimes it's nice to have a foam block between the feet. That's always a possibility. And again, enjoy the spread of the diaphragm, how it relaxes when that muscle of respiration relaxes, how the breath, particularly the exhalation, grows longer than the inhalation on its own. Feel the sides of the navel getting longer and longer with each breath, particularly the out breath. Okay, now take the legs straight, having been in the flexion position. Okay, now cross-legged position so that the legs are against the wall. Yeah, cross more at the shin than at the ankle. You can do that supine, Elaine, Supta Swastikasana. Good. More for the outer hips. And then stretch the legs up, change the cross. Again, press the knees back toward the wall. Yeah. You now stretch the arms over, actually stretch the legs first. Back to hip width apart. Now just take the arms overhead to get length in the armpits. Kick the dorsal spine in. Relax the throat when the arms are overhead. Relax the eyes. Okay, now take the arms down by the side. If you need to use your hands, which often we do, place the hand in the pit of the right knee and very quickly go in and out of Ardha Padmasana, where you're aiming the right heel. Yes, and use that hand to take the knee back. So the mantra is always, as the foot drops into that left groin, right knee moves back and then alternates side by side. So you're doing it rather quickly and easefully. That's it, Gail. So as the foot comes up, Lubna, that's really good. The use of your hands. Put the hand in the lane. You can do this seated naturally, although we will get to that later. Good, Lana. Yes, use your hands skillfully, artfully. That's it. Go in and out. If you find that you're getting away from the wall, just pause and push back to the wall, because ideally you want the knee to be on the wall. As the foot comes up, the knee moves back. That's the mantra. Okay. Now come into Ardha Padmasana on one side. Take the right heel into the left groin and then bend the left leg so that the left foot is behind the right knee. So Ardha Padmasana, that's it. Ardha Padmasana. Good. That's it. Okay. Now take the right leg up, left leg up. Aim the left heel into the right groin. And now drop the right foot behind the left knee. Good. Ardha Padmasana. All right. Now, those of you who can do full Padmasana will, if that's not possible, then just go back to what we just did. Ardha Padmasana to the right, Ardha Padmasana. So you're getting the right heel to the left groin, and then see if you can, you're not going to stay long, drop the left heel into the right groin. Press the knees back. As the foot moves toward the groin, the knees move back. Good. Of course, gravity helps get the legs in those little pockets there. Now, stretch both legs up and take the left leg. Those of you in Ardha Padmasana, you're just doing one side, which is fine. No cause for alarm. If you're not doing Padmasana, you're simply doing Ardha Padmasana. One side might be more difficult. I'm finding that as I age, doing the left side first is getting harder than the right. Just observe that. Because of the hips, it could be the knees, could be a lot of things, could also be the feet. Okay, now stretch the legs back up in extension. All right, now go back to cross-legged. All right, that's it. Go back to cross-legged. And now in cross-legged position, scoot yourself head side so that the backs of the thighs rest on the edge of the frontal edge of the bolster, rest there. Enjoy the opening of the groins, the spread of the diaphragm, although not as acute as I would say is Baddha Konasana, because the thighs are running parallel to each other versus away from each other. Good. All right, now change the cross. You can stretch up the legs and Swastikasana, change cross. Now see if you can hold the bolster. I know it's a little bit easier if you have longer arms, and see if you can go a little bit more to the head side, a little bit more. This is actually leading to a pose called Matsyasana. So really more mid-thigh to above the knee touches the bolster so that the legs are still supported. Now go a little back head side. So you're moving to the flat Matsyasana shape. Those of you who were here on Tuesday, Beth had done that. Yeah, that's it, Lubna. Good. So I know I can't see some of you because the setup is that, I can't see where the knees are in relationship to the bolster, but you know where they are. Okay, now go a little more head side if you can, and then untangle the legs, place both feet on the bolster or the floor, draw the knees in and slowly come up. Okay, let's undo all that knee bending and let's do the Supta cycle as we did on Tuesday. So we're doing the right side, 1, 2, 4. And I want to spend a good time on 4 today because it's key in Padmasana, and then out to 2. So we'll do the right and then we'll do the left. All right, you can use the wall. All right, so start, yes, I would start just to get traction in the lower spine. Always, if you're doing it at the wall, start with bent legs. Hold the sides of the mat. Extend one leg to get the traction here. You see, I'm pushing through the core of the heel and thereby lengthening my lower, you can see here, the left side of my waist, and then do that. I mean, we don't always take the time to teach it this way, but this is really the very best way. So you're starting in Tadasana with an elongated lower spine. The lumbar spine is not touching down to the floor, and then you'll have your belt and do Ekapada. All right. So the traction on your lower spine from bent leg position is really helpful. Okay, now take the knee in, hold the shin, the back of the thigh, merge the chest with the thigh, the abdomen moves back, and then put the belt on. Yeah, a lot of that's good. Now I can see you better. Because now I can see your legs. Okay. All right, start at 90 and unfold those legs. So you have no knees. Let the arms be straight. Turn the arms from the inside out. That's it. But the shoulder blades are on the floor. All right. The chest is as open as it was in Viparita Karani. Look at your right leg. That's it, Gail. And see that the right leg is running in line with the shoulder. And then make it a process. I've been saying for 2 years, move the leg toward you. Meaning, you know, let your mind attend to the leg. Meaning your mission at hand is to unfold the back of the leg, to open the knee, top to bottom, side to side. Now I like to pull the toes down. So let the foot be in dorsiflexion. So you're opening up that heel hinge. That's it, Val. Now, as you go beyond 90, watch the outer right hip. Don't let it lift up. Just imagine the traction belt there. You don't need the traction belt. You have felt that a gazillion times in your body. Now, understand that if that traction belt were there, it'd be much easier to feel the evenness. And I don't want you, of course, I want you to feel the evenness, but make the side ribs even. So if you let that right hip lift up, the right side is shortened. I don't want that to happen. So this is for the legs, for the arms, and also for the side walls of the chest. Head support if you need, Peggy. If anyone needs head support, you know to take it, be it in a one blanket fold or a roll. Good. All right, now bring the leg back to 90. Decentralize your left heel away 3 inches, still on the wall. Hold the strap with the right hand, keep the arm straight, turn the inner upper right arm, extend through the inner left arm, and now turning your abdomen from the right to the left, take the right leg out. Initiate the pose today from the abdomen. So you're turning. You'll think of this when you do Ardha Chandrasana, which we're going to do today. Good, these look really good. All right, now do 4, but start with figure 4, because this is the figure 4 is the path to Padmasana, as is Upavishtakonasana and Baddha Konasana. But if you start with figure 4, remember, I don't want to see, let me show it this way. The foot should not, the shin here should not be at an angle, right? So the shin has to be parallel to the collarbone, so you're getting into the outer hip. And then you can go to whatever iteration, going to the final pose, hooking the forearms under or holding the big toe. But start with figure 4. If you need the wall, that's fine too. All right, let's see these. That's it, Val. Keep the shin, yeah, and then bring the shin in closer to you. Wow, that's good. Don't torque the right foot. That inner ankle, outer ankle should run equidistant from the inner, what am I saying? The inner arch and the outer part of the foot should be equidistant from the ankle. All right. Yes, you can use your hand on the root of the right thigh. Remember what we just did in that Padmasana. So as the foot is like coming up, the knee moves back. It's that same circular pattern. That's why we call it the path to Padmasana. Now go for your Supta Padangusthasana 4 on this side, knowing that the other side might be different. Hook under, hold the big toe. Some of you can with strap, that's it, or without strap. That's it, Gail. Lift the chest, lift the head. Yes, and clamp the left thigh down. Relax the eyes and the throat. So you know that the Supta Padangusthasana 4 is indeed that path to Padmasana with a few other poses, as I said. Okay, now from 4, go back to 2 with ease. Go back to 2. And now just focus on space. Again, decentralize left leg, balancing the pelvis. Remember, the groins are on their respective sides. Don't commingle the groins. Left belongs to left, right belongs to right. They don't meet. Well done. All right. Now, take the leg up, and we're going to do 3 in a slightly different manner today. Anyone who has groin issues, they need a second belt, take it. So this is when, I think you all know this, we're going to hold it with the left hand, staying on the median line. I cross the right to the left, but then I want you to bend the knee. When you bend the knee, observe how the thigh is closer, not only closer to the chest, but higher up, and then extend through the core of the heel. So you'll start in the classic way where both legs are straight, and then bend, stretch, bend, stretch. Even though we're not doing revolve triangle today, this is incredible preparation for those of you who practice revolve triangle. It's a pose that most people kind of avoid, but it's a very good preparation for that. Okay, let's see. Take it to straight, hold it for about a minute. I know I demoed very quickly, and then you'll bend it. Yeah, Lubna, it looks to me, it's not, yeah, so go to 3, cross the right, resist the inner thighs away, and then you'll bend it. Yeah, you're using your arm is fine. That's good, Lana. That's it, Gail. That's it, Elaine. Yeah, these look good. Observe how you're getting into the good, Val, the outer hip. So Val, you can see, your straight leg in space is in a very different plane than your bent leg, right? Which is obviously when we bend the leg, it's going to be higher up, which is good. That's what we want. That's why this is also used as preparation for a pose called Jethara Parvatasana. If you do this before Jethara, it's excellent. Maybe I'll teach that next week. Well done. Okay. And go back to Supta Tadasana. First start with bent legs, go feet on floor, extend through the core of the opposite heel, the heel that you didn't take to the wall first. Get traction in your lower spine to begin with, and then Ekapada Supta 1. I'm sure at this point you could teach this pose, right? Supta 1. All right, Ekapada, put the belt on in the same place, get that clarity at the back of the knee, no elbows, no knees, side ribs even, left hip cutting back, and then make it a process to move the leg. So that, trying to, I think as you hear these poses taught for so long, these instructions are with you. So in your own home practice, you can hear them. And move the leg beyond 90, maintaining the evenness of those side ribs. Imagine that traction belt still there. Shoulder blades belong to the floor. Arms are straight. Legs are straight. Backs of the knees open. You can opt for pulling down the toes, lifting the heel up, if that works. Good. Observe the difference in the two sides. Okay, now bring the left leg back to 90 and Supta 2. Left arm straight, off the floor ideally. Right arm, initiate with the turning left to right and then go. Good. Decentralize that right leg. Yeah, I'll make that a habit. You know, as soon as you're doing Supta 2, take the other leg out of the median line so that the pelvis stays balanced as you don't go with the left leg. Feel the width across the pubic plate. So I find that most people have told me that this whole cycle is, you know, a part of their everyday routine, or if not every day, every other day. Good. All right, now from 2, go to figure 4, left side. Usually there's a difference. Elaine, if you want to have the right foot at the wall, that's fine. If this is a harder side, being close to the wall, as I've taught it many times, is helpful for the right foot, and then you edge back to the wall. So I would say the other thing that's very helpful is putting a strap at the corner of the left hip. Yes, remember just the shin so it's parallel to the collarbones. Yeah, you can put the hand there, Lana, good. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more effective if you put the hand, Gail, not maybe here on the kneecap itself, but really here. You know, either right above the knee or however you want to look at it. I guess you could say it's below it, or I personally like at the root of the thigh. Because this pose is opening the hips. That's it. Can be at wall. So stay in figure 4 a bit. Because figure 4 will actually give you the ability to go further in toward the final pose. Okay, then do hook under or go for the full pose. Maybe this left side is more easeful. That's it, Gail. And then extend the right leg, Gail. Yeah, clamp the right thigh down. Well done. That's good, Val. You know, most people have disparities in the 2 hips. Those of you who attended Karen Stefan's workshop at the Yoga for Aging, you know, she talked about this, especially as we get older. One side is more easeful than the other side. So I feel strongly in doing Supta 4 differently. Both sides is perfectly okay. I mean, because you think about it, why would we do this? You know, we do have 2 sides, but why do them the same if one is struggling, right? Okay, now after 4, go to 2 with ease and feel that spaciousness. So 4 makes 2 better. Decentralize, good, now the right leg. Just get in the habit of decentralizing that right leg. Sometimes we forget. Good. Now enjoy width across the pubic plate, because the next pose is Upavishta Konasana. Well done. Oh, not the next pose. We're doing that. We have to do 3. Okay, now take the leg up, hold it in the right hand. And now turning from right to left, take the left leg over, resist the inner thighs movement. That's it. Use your arm, use a belt. Yeah, good leg. Now observe your upper left thigh, where it is in space. Bend it. Now bend it. You see, when you bend it, it's going to be much closer to the chest, and then re-stretch it. Bend, stretch. Maybe we'll work on this next week in regards to revolve triangle, because soon we'll lose the season of doing twists, because twists are heating and coming into some hot weather. Okay, these are good. All right. Now from here, bend the legs. Actually, just take them this way. Take the strap and do this. You can make a loop or not. Just do a wide Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. I just looped the belt, but you don't have to. Just because I want to go to Upavishta Konasana next. All right. Just run the inner edges of the feet parallel. So Val, the legs are a little bit too far forward, because remember, yeah, that's it. Good. No, not too, go a little bit toward chest side. Yeah, good. Run the feet about 3 feet apart. Inner edges of the feet parallel. Good, good, good. That's it, Elaine. The center of the ankle equidistant from that inner arch to outer side of the foot. Okay, now bend the knees, Dvipada. Roll to your right or left side and take Upavishta Konasana. We'll do it twice in the classical way from Dandasana, from the legs together. We talked about this on Tuesday. See if you can seal the legs. So we talked about discerning how much easier it is to press the legs down in a wider Dandasana than a narrower. And then bend one leg, take it out. And then go into a fairly wide Upavishta Konasana because the legs have been prepared. You okay, Val? Okay, Upavishta Konasana. Adjust so that your chest is perpendicular. Look at your feet, make them perpendicular to the floor, and no part of the leg is not in contact with the earth. And then raise the arms up. You need to go wider so that that's good. Now you have them down. Good. Open up the armpits. We did this on Tuesday. Those of you who are here, Parshva Upavishta Konasana. All right, now take the arms down. Bring the legs back to Dandasana, hip width apart or together, and then take the other leg out. So technically, we really should do this twice. You know, if you think about this, because if you're always taking the right leg out, it changes it, right? In terms of the groin. All right, go to your wider position, seal the legs. Look at your kneecaps, see that they're pointing upward toward the ceiling, width across the pubic plate. Let no part of the leg rise away from the earth. And then take the arms up and reach up. In fact, look up. Good. Arms down, legs back to Dandasana. Get what you need for Baddha Konasana, be it a blanket or a wall. We're taking Baddha Konasana, same thing from Dandasana. Do the same thing you did in the Ardha Padmasana work and in Viparita Karani. Use your hands in a meticulous, artful manner. You won't be able, the use of the, if you're taking the right leg in first, it's much easier to use the hands artfully than the left leg. But that's why we do it twice, because then you'll experience the left side with the hands being skillful. This is another pose I will say, and you know, this kind of goes with the territory. I remember being in classes many years ago with Patricia, and she always said, oh, this Baddha Konasana will get harder as you get older. It does. So press the feet strongly and widen across the pubic bone. Because this pose used to be, for me, I will tell you, you know, my knees were very close to the floor, not so much anymore. Okay, and then lift the chest. But that's how it is, can't be attached to the outcome. Okay, now stretch out the legs, and now let the left leg enjoy the ease of the articulation of the hands. Remember, if it's helpful for you, lean in, you know, lean in so you're not bringing the leg up like this, right? Remember, this is what I said, this Baddha Konasana, Upavishta Konasana are past to Padmasana. So I lean in, I bring the foot, the heel to the perineum. And then of course, this leg will come up a little bit, but that goes without saying. Okay, and then press the feet strongly. If you need to sit on some height, yeah. Now I will say that if, just be mindful, if you're holding your feet, don't let the chest come forward. We spoke to that on Tuesday. Now try this, which is challenging. Keeping the legs in Baddha Konasana without letting the chest come forward. Take the arms up, reach up through the fingertips. You'll see how the legs will fly up, how the chest wants to come forward. Of course, being at the wall would help. All right, now take the arms down, take the legs back to Dandasana. Lubna, you had demonstrated this for everyone on Tuesday. So this pose also path to Padmasana, Ekapada, Mula Bandhasana. One bolster, two bolsters. I'll just go on the middle path, a bolster and a blanket. We're sitting on it. I said on Tuesday, much easier in a sneaker. If you have a book, you can put it between your outer heel and pubic plate. So ideal, we're doing just Ekapada unless you can do both, but I would start with Ekapada right, Ekapada with left, and then could do both. So get the foot perpendicular. And this takes time. So start with the one leg first. It's much more easeful. And remember the knee. So if you think about Padmasana, right? That work, this should help now. Val, I will say if sometimes anyone who has arthritis in their big toe or in their metatarsal, this can be tricky. So doing it with a sneaker can be easier. Okay, change sides, good, Lana, go in and out though. Go in and out, right side, left side. Lubna, go right side, left side, then do the full pose, okay? Yeah, make the foot perpendicular to the floor. Remember that calf flesh, it's also similar to Siddhasana. The calf flesh has to move down to the floor. Yeah, that's good, Val, and change. It's good, I'm glad that many of you have the decentralized other leg. One side will be different than the other. Luna, that's good. Putting your thumbs, you don't need the book, but it works nicely, but putting your thumbs behind the heel. So the heel is moving toward the screen, not back. It wants to go back. The weight has to come out of that, move the weight toward the big toe side. And then those who can, Galuna, try both feet together. Let's see. So some of you have both feet together. That's really good. Gail, Lana, you have it? Both feet? Can't see from this angle. Good. Remember, so ideally then the next stage is to come off the support, Lubna, and then have the knees on the floor, which is tricky, to have no support. If anyone has knee issues, which no one does here, then you would do it on the chair, but I just feel I need to say that. That's good, Lubna, and bring with both hands, move the heels forward to the screen, knees down. Okay, now give a good stretch to the legs. We went through that rather quickly, which is fine. Because some of this was review since Tuesday. All right, stretch out your legs. And in Dandasana or Upavishta Konasana. And now, of course, we're doing Padmasana. Okay, so I'm just going to do this very quickly. Another pose which gets more challenging. So I'm going to decentralize both legs. Watch, I've showed this many times. I keep this knee down. In fact, I like to have my hand on the knee. I go in and out, even if I've done it a million times. I first start with an Ekapada, in and out, taming the knee to the floor, and then you'll do exactly what you did, some of you in Viparita Karani. But I really urge you to go rhythmically like I'm doing now, because you really will protect the knee and lubricate that hip. So let me show from the side. So really spend time, keep the knee down as the foot comes up, the knee goes down, right? And then some of you will do Ardha Padmasana. I'm wriggling my foot. Remember what we did at the wall. Others of you can lean forward. You can put this foot on a block even and aim the heel to the opposite groin. All right. So whether you're in Ardha Padmasana or Padmasana, not a problem. Okay. And then you'll do obviously the other side. So to come out of it, compact the shin of the top leg, extend. One leg, then the other, good, Lubna. And then, here we go. Keep that knee down, or you're doing Ardha Padmasana. Good. All right, now I'm just going to take a reprieve because I didn't think I will do this, but I feel like I want to do this. Stretch out your legs, and just to prepare the arms for an arm balance in Padmasana, since so many of you did well, do Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Elaine, you can do Prasarita Padottanasana and just actually do up dog because I want you to feel the energetic lift, but do it from a prone position. So just know why I'm putting this here now. I want to come back to Padmasana, poses Tolasana, but we didn't do anything for the arms. So take a downward facing dog, work with movement, or an upward facing dog if you need to, and focus on spreading the palms. So you know that what the next foot, it's gonna be an arm balance. So spread the hands, draw up from your inner wrist to your inner elbow to your inner arm. You can turn the palms out, not a problem. And you're doing this, those of you in up dog, fine as wine. We're preparing for arm bound, one arm bound, one. That's it, Lana. Yeah, and it's also unfolding the knees. Okay, well done. That's what you're gonna do, down dog to up dog, Lubna. Yeah, Lana, same thing. Up dog, down dog. That's might as well. Up dog, down dog, up dog. Have blocks if you need it, not a problem. Good, good, Gail. All right. Good. Know why we're doing this now. All right, now come out. All right, you'll take your blocks, although you may not need them. You'll see. All right, have a belt. Those of you who were unable to do Padmasana, you're going to do Ardha Padmasana with the hook up as the belt. So let me show that quickly because I haven't shown this in some time. So this is Padmasana. You can also use the belt around the thighs. All right, this is the pose we're going to. Tolasana. There's no swinging in Tolasana, you just go up. All right, now if you can't do Tolasana, not an issue. You're just going to rig up your leg in this manner. So it's like a 14-inch loop or 12-inch loop. I'm going to place it underneath my right foot across my left. So I'll show you this way. Look, you see it? You see that hook up? So I've packaged up my legs because I want them to stay together when I lift off. Okay, so I've belted my legs, and of course you'll change. And then, so some of you will find that if you put the blocks on the medium side, if going up on the low side is not possible, but you might find you don't need the blocks, right? You may not need the blocks. And the reason being, and those of you who know Lolasana is I should do that too, but Lolasana is a much more complicated pose to not use blocks. Why? Because it has less compaction than Tolasana. We could study that as well. Okay, here we go. Tolasana, observe which leg you're taking in and package them up if you're in Ardha Padmasana. Okay, and then you're placing the hands beside your hips, not to your knees, okay? Beside your hips, draw your abdomen back, and then press down to go up. Have the blocks, yeah, Lubna, closer to the hips though, yeah. Yeah, all right, now Ardha, good, Peggy. Ardha Pad, let's see. You'll change when you're ready, good. Lubna, that's it. So press down, good. Draw, that's really good. See, all of you are having your upper spine rounded, which is fine. Okay, stretch out your legs and repeat. That's it, Lana. Really good. Good. You're all getting this. Tolasana. And I will say, those of you who know Lolasana, where the shins are parallel, much harder pose to not use blocks. So most people, if they can do Padmasana, find it more easeful. Okay, so we're doing Elaine, Tolasana, the arm balance. Good, that's it, Lana. Good. All right, now stretch out your legs. They deserve a good stretch. All right, so there's your Padmasana, there's your Tolasana. And you know what, just because I talked about it, seems so ridiculous to talk about something and not do it, we might as well do Lolasana and make the comparative study. So just watch. So the leg shape is very different. So in Lolasana, basically the shins are crossed, the feet point straight back. All right, so it has much less compact. There is some compacting, but not nearly the compacting that Padmasana has. So most people, even very thin, lightweight human beings with very long arms, find it very difficult to do Lolasana without blocks. So the first stage of Lolasana will be this. We'll do what I call it the perch. This one, you don't need the blocks, but let me get this out of the way. So my shins are crossed. I take my hands a little bit behind my knees and I lift up. This is strong abdominal work. I'm just lifting up my knees and then we'll eventually go up. All right, let's try Lolasana. Much harder without the blocks, but the perch, make sure that all of your hand, good Peggy, is sealed to the floor. Not, the wrist has to be down. Good, that's it, Val. Press down and just lift the knees up. Knees up, but yeah, and Lana, you don't even have to lift up that high. So the buttocks aren't really, coming up too high, just a little bit. That's it. Go up and down, up and down. All right. Now, take your blocks, and now you're going to lift the feet and the knees. Have the blocks on the medium side. You can show in profile so I see your abdomen drawing back. Have the hands in contact with the earth. Remember the action of the inner arms. Good. And now swing, Lubna, swing to and fro. The feet are hard to come up. The feet, Val, the feet cramped. If the feet cramp, that's common. I mean, then do toe squash. That happens to me as well. Yeah, do toe squash. Change the cross and repeat. Change the cross, go back to the perch, and then Lolasana. Gail, we're doing Lolasana. Remember, you can package up the legs. If the feet won't lift, package Lana, that's good. I'm going to spotlight Lana and she'll show the belt. All right, so watch. These are doing what I didn't think we'd do these, but since we're here, we're here. All right, so I'm going to spotlight Lana for a second because these are actually good poses to do. Okay. Okay, that's it. All right, so she's packaged up her legs. You can see the Lana, can you just, yeah, it's in the front of the ankle, that's it. And where the top of the thigh and pelvis meet. Then she puts her blocks there. She got them on the medium side, not too far forward, which is good. Then she has to draw her abdomen back, that's it. And swing, 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 swing. Good, that's good, Lana. All right, so remember the packaging of the legs is really important. Thank you. All right. Those of you who found it difficult to lift your feet, the perch is easy. The perch is easy, but not the lifting of the feet in the final close. And you can see how much harder. Now, for those of you who are finding this easy, then challenge yourself in Lolasana not to use the blocks, Lubna. Yeah, Val, try. Those of you who find this easy, you swung without the strap, then go to a less brick height. Just try it. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so you see how much harder it is, Lubna, without the feet don't come up. I have to say, I don't know of many people that do Lolasana without the blocks. It's super hard compared to Tolasana. It's interesting. Okay, now give the legs a good stretch. Dandasana or Upavishta Konasana. All right. All right, now we're going to switch over to a kind of make a detour here, not too much of a detour. You're going to lie on your side, have a belt ready, and a blanket for your head so that the ear is, you'll lie on your left side. We're doing Parsvattanasana in this manner. Okay, and we're going to expand a little bit on what we did on Tuesday. So the first stage of Anantasana, couch pose, starts with Parsvattanasana. And you can really feel, especially now that you've done the abdominal work of Tolasana and Lolasana, the abdomen drawing back. And no need to use your hand to balance. You just balance in two really hard poses. You can easily balance in Parsvattanasana. Good. Extend your arm wing. Relax your neck. All right, now because we did Upavishta Konasana, Baddha Konasana, Padmasana, Tolasana, place the sole of the foot on the inside of the thigh, groin forward, knee back. knee back, open the groin. Take your right hand, move the buttock flesh away from the waist. Buttock flesh is moving down. This will become really important when we do this prone. All right, now, just to have fun, classically speaking, this is stage 2 in Anantasana. The final third stage is when we take the leg up, but let's do something between the final and this Vrikshasana stage. You're going to aim the ball of the foot like you did in Ekapada Mula Bandhasana on the floor with the heel up. You see that? I didn't spotlight Lubna today, but you know, both feet were together. Heel is up, toe is down. And then just do this with movement. Sole the foot back to Vrikshasana. Have the foot on the very center of that thigh. That's a bow. And then you can hold the shin close to the ankle and now Ardha Padmasana there. And then repeat. Sole the foot. Foot to the floor. So the foot is in, you're bringing that heel like we did in Padmasana. Now, hold the foot if you can and take the leg up. Watch the leg, it wants to come forward. Leg back, groin forward. Leg back, groin forward. That's the mantra. Every pose has a mantra. Leg back, that's it. You can use the belt, Gail, that's fine as wine. The leg, watch, see how it wants to drift forward. Take the leg back, groin forward. All right, now go prone, go prone. Those of you who do, I'm glad we did up dog because this will help Cobra. Take your hands by your armpit chest. Now this is what we're going to do. We'll slither forward. We're going to do 10 cobras, keeping the arms bent. And then on the 10th one, hold for 10. All right, 10 cobras, 10 bhujangasanas. See if you can get almost your entire trunk other than the navel off the floor, keeping the arms bent. Oftentimes in training, strength training, they give this as a alternative to push-up position, but keep the arms bent, arms bent. It's a small movement. Slither forward, don't let the trapezius fall on the neck. And then at the end of the 10th one, hold it for 10 counts, hold. So this is, you know, for those of you who want to do push-ups, this is kind of like a beginning push-up, arms bent. Okay, that's good. Now, same thing other side. Anantasana from Parshvattanasana. It's good for the, it feels good on your sacrum in between the Anantasana sides. Okay, so we're back to head support. Most and your right ear is running parallel to the floor. Parshvattanasana. Engage, fall back or fall forward. Okay, second stage, Vrikshasana. Sole the foot in line, groin forward. Move the buttock flesh, good line with, take your hand and move that buttock flesh toward the leg side, the opposite leg side. Now play with going from Vrikshasana to Ardha Padmasana. You can put your hand here as a lever and then touch down and then go back and forth. So you're really getting to that outer left hip. You're on the ball of the foot again, and this is a little bit easier with the sneaker on, a little bit easier. Those of you who know the pose Ardha Baddha Padma Padottanasana, this is great preparation for that. And then when you're ready, back to the Vrikshasana, and of course, full pose Anantasana, full pose. Think Supta Padangusthasana 2. Well, look at your left leg. Don't let it wander forward toward the screen. If you're facing the screen, leg back, groin forward. Move the buttock flesh down. Groin has to open, especially if you're holding the foot with your hand. Okay, now go on your tummy and Bhujangasana 10 more, hold for 10. Somehow these prone back bends get relegated to a small space. Keep the navel on the floor. Then right here, that diaphragm, that's it. Shoulders away from the ears. Not leading with the chin. Looking forward from the bridge of the nose. At the end of 10, hold for 10. Arms are bent, hold. So again, this builds up strength for push-up position. Okay, and then relax. Just make a pillow with your hands, just relax. All right, so now we're going to a different detour. So I've taught this before. This is when I was in India in 2015. This is what Geeta Iyengar had taught us. And we use them for standing poses. So watch. We're going to, I'll show you from my leg side, it's easier. So I'm going to, if you don't have long arms, using a belt will help. So it's like a prone vrikshasana, and I'm tucking my left toes under, and then I'm lifting the right knee. If I can't get the knee off the floor, I'll use my hand to help, to assist. But one of the things you have to do is I'm lifting the right knee, but I'm moving this right buttock flesh, the way I asked you to do in Anantasana, away from my waist. Okay, let's see if you can do 10 on the right, 10 on the left. Prone vrikshasana. See how we're doing for time. Prone vrikshasana. We haven't done this in a while. First, I would say get the sole of the foot on the inside. I'm glad that many of you, Peggy, are facing me. That's good. Sole of the foot on the inside of the thigh. Tuck the toes under. It's helpful. Make a pillow with your hands, or place the hands by like the cobra position. Either one will help. All right, now raise the right knee off the floor, above the right and left foot. Lift the knee up. If you need an assist, use your right hand underneath your knee and lift it. I didn't show that, but you know, you can, good Peggy. Lift the knee up 10 times. It's a little bit of grunt work because it's builds some glute strength, and there are many ways to build glute strength. That's a whole other chapter. If 10 is not possible, do 5 and go to other side. Good. I know a lot of people, they don't like these. They're probably not fun. Keep the buttock flesh moving down, Lubna, and then lift the knee up. Assist with the hand, left hand if you need it. Make a comfortable position for your head. The hands can be on the sides of like the way they were in Cobra, or just supporting your forehead, either one. Lift up and down. Do as many as possible. I know it's grunt work, just it'll be over soon. You might get a cramping in the quad, yes. Go up and down. All right. All right, now try this. This might be somewhat easier for some of you. It's hard to know. All right, so now I'm still prone, only this time I take the leg from the vrikshasana and put it more at a right angle. I think some of you will find this easier. It's easier to move the buttock flesh down. And then keeping the foot on the floor, right foot on the floor, tucking the left toes under, I lift the knee. I lift the knee, I lift the knee, okay? All right, so it's similar, but not the same. It's a different position. If you can only do a few, that's fine. If you want to do a different pose, you can go back to up dog or cobra. Assist if you need it, meaning put your hand underneath the right knee and use the hand to lift it up. You're going to feel it in the glutes. And there are many ways to access the glutes, but this is the way Geeta had taught it. So now the foot, so Lumna, now the foot is not in vrikshasana, it's more at a right angle. Okay, that's it, Val. And then go to the other side after you've done maybe 5. Tuck the right toes under, that's it. Foot's on the floor. There'll be one more in the sequence and then it's done. That's it. So left leg is at a right angle to the body. Good. Buttock flesh, good lat. I'm moving down, foot down, kneecap up, assist if necessary, especially if the glutes are weaker on this side. Good. All right. This seems a little bit more palatable. All right. Now we're doing the final one in the sequence that I'm going to change it around a little bit. She taught it, I believe, the block on the high side. I'm going to teach on the medium side, and the block is not underneath the knee, but it's rather really underneath the upper, the like 1/3 of the upper leg. So again, we'll show it in this way. So I take the Ardha Chandrasana and this, my right leg is bent. Okay, my right leg is straight. And now I'm turning. So you'll see the foot, the toes are going to face the ceiling. But that happens because I'm turning the thigh. And this is the action that you have to get in Ardha Chandrasana. The inner thigh turning to the outer thigh and that compacting of the corner of the outer right hip. So we'll do about 8 to 10 of those, right side, left side, and then we'll come to stand. All right, and then we'll see how all this makes sense in 3 standing poses. So your right straight, you're supporting your inner upper right knee with block on. For some people, what happens is the block, when it's on the higher side, makes the right buttock lift up. So I've put it on the medium side. Move the buttock flesh down, tuck the left toes under. Don't worry about what the right foot is doing. It will do what it needs to do. Your mission is turning your inner upper thigh to your outer upper thigh, engaging the glute the same manner you put on your right leg in Ardha Chandrasana, which we will do next, so that you have that comparative study. Yeah, so just watch, Val, the position of the arms might, the way you have it might cause the buttock to lift up. So the other way you could do it is just to have the hands here, but not, you just want to, or I actually find that supporting the forehead is helpful so it doesn't cause the back body to lift.
I have to look around because I lost you while you were demonstrating.
Oh,
so
you want me to do it again?
I'll look.
No, here, look. So here's my block, and I place my inner upper thigh. I just find when the block is on the high side, it causes the buttock to lift. So I can just slip my hands here and move it down. And I'm turning my inner upper thigh, engaging those glute muscles. Just say, and support your head. Okay, left side, good, Lana. See if you can get left leg at a right angle. That left leg, the leg, remember, this is your standing leg in Ardha Chandrasana. Your left leg. So make it analogous to what is standing on your left leg in Ardha Chandrasana. Okay. All right, now from a prone position, push the floor away, down dog, remove the block, obviously. Take just for symmetry, down dog. Or not. Just something symmetrical, laying Dvipad is fine. Because those are very, very much asymmetrical poses. All right, now let's all do Ardha Chandrasana. I'll give you possibilities. You can take it from Trikonasana. You can do a shortened stance, freestanding. You can do it at the wall, right? So it could be like this. I want you to focus on that turning action. So I've decided I'll take it from a shortened distance, and then I set my right hand in front of my right foot, and that's that same turning of the inner upper thigh from the inside out in that prone Ardha Chandrasana. You can do it at the wall. If you're feeling that you need a little bit of a support, take it, or freestanding, Lana, from Trikonasana. I'm giving you many options. It doesn't matter. But what I want you to glean is the turning of the inner thigh to the outer thigh. The foot should not roll in. That's it. Step out, step up. At the wall, Peggy's fine. Elaine, just shift the weight slightly forward so your buttock is not behind the heel. That's it. Yes. Feel the turning of your inner upper right thigh inside out. Move the chest toward the head side. Good. So this should manifest rather easily, having done all the work leading up to this. And change sides, doing the same manner, at wall, freestanding, Lana, and Trikonasana. Okay, well done. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon to the left. When you're ready, from a shortened stance or from classical Trikonasana, or supported at the wall, which is fine. Good. These are good. Elaine, that's it, the alignment. Good, good, good. Wow, this is your signature pose. Good. So that standing leg is at a right angle. Well, excellent. Good, Peggy. Beautiful. All right, now when you're ready, step out. All right, now try this. If you need some support, it's fine, especially if you're getting tired. I'm going to use support today. At the trestle. So watch, because I'm not focusing on really balance. I want you to take the leg to a Vrikshasana, remember Anantasana, and then you're going to bring it into the Ardha Padmasana, you see? So this is the first stage of what I alluded to earlier, Ardha Baddha Padma Padottanasana, where the foot, now we're standing, and this foot, this leg, I should say, is in Ardha Padmasana. If your knee is forward, then decentralize. So you move the knee to the right. All right, be at a wall if you need to. Take Vrikshasana first, like we did in sideline. Vrikshasana first. Hold the foot, good, good. That's good, Elaine. Well done. Buttock flesh down in the same manner we just did prone. Arms up if that's palatable today. That's not a, or out to the side, Peggy's fine too. All right, now tend to still that right side, Elaine, you were already ready. Bring the foot, do the Ardha Padmasana position. Lubna, that's excellent. Remember, if the knee, Peggy, if the knee is forward, moving to the green mat, yes, then decentralize the leg. Move the foot, the knee out to the side. You can hold the foot from underneath, that's fine. Okay, these look really good. At some point, we'll do the final pose where we're bending forward and hooking the foot. Change size. If you need the wall, don't worry about balance issues. I want you to, this is about, we did those leg positions for this pose, right? So go from Vrikshasana to Ardha Baddha. I won't say Baddha because Ardha Padma Padottanasana, because we're not doing the bound piece. One side, oh, that's good, Lubna. Yeah, if you don't have to hold the foot. I will say that sometimes people experience knee pain, put into the thigh, holding the foot. That's just something. So if you have any pain back of the left knee, then hold the foot from underneath. That was pointed out some time ago to me. Okay, these look really good. Well done. And then take that leg down. All right, now let's do this because we haven't done this in a while. We'll try this. All right, first we're going to do Purvottanasana with nothing. We don't have support underneath our hands or support underneath our feet. So my hands are about 3 inches, Talasana, Vilasana, the palms are down, right? The whole hand belongs to the foot. I bend my legs, and this is and lift the pelvis up. I lift the pelvis up. Then what we're going to do is take 2 blocks, and I want you to see which is more easeful for you. We're going to put the blocks in at bent leg Purvottanasana underneath our feet. So the feet are elevated, lift. And then we'll do that 2 times. Put the blocks underneath our hands. Now, of course, it would be too much to ask if we had 4 blocks, but we're going to try it in that manner. So I find, and this is what I would say, those of you who have any issues with shoulder issues probably need blocks underneath your hands more than blocks underneath your feet, right? So that's one thing that I'll preface this whole thing to, because if you have any kind of biceps tendonitis, kind of a rotator cuff, frozen shoulder kind of thing going on, blocks works really good for this pose. All right, so I'm going to leave it up to you. All right, let's take it without anything first. Bend the legs. Have the fingers go out, pointing the same as going, not, for some reason, a lot of people do it, the fingers going backwards. Good. All right, now press the feet and lift the buttocks. Pay attention to both buttocks now. Higher and higher. Make good, Peggy. Make your trunk, the belly like a tabletop. Don't let the buttocks sink. Go up and down a few times, neck long, Val, yeah. So, depending on one's neck, some people find that they want to bring the chin into the hollow of the throat. Some people find they want to take the head back. I'll leave that up to you. All right, Peggy, you can decide. Just don't let the trapezius hike up. All right, then when you've done a few rounds, good Elaine, put blocks underneath your feet. See if that helps get lift of the pelvis, which normally it would. But it might be harder for those of you who have anything going on with the shoulders. That's good, Val, up and down. So do you see, Val, you get more height when much more height when the feet. Let's see, Lana. Yeah, that's it, Peggy. These look good. We haven't done this pose, it seems like, in a gazillion years. Okay. And then you can try, if you had 4 blocks, obviously, but that 4 blocks, the feet and the hands are on the same plane, which would be like no blocks, okay? I find that the blocks help, especially with shoulder issues. Good, lift up and down, up and down. Good. So this is, this is glutes, glutes, and glutes. That's it. Now come down, lie on your back, put one of the bricks between the thighs. And we're doing, of course, Chatuspadasana, which is much harder because now the arms are not straight. Much harder to get the lift. Purvottanasana, I feel, is relatively easeful compared to Chatuspadasana. All right, here we go. Yeah, you can bend the arms, Val, that's fine. Okay, when you're ready, get height, get height, get height. It's a grunt pose. Bring the heels in as close to your buttocks as the knees will allow, and up and down you go. That's good, Elaine. Up and down you go. Don't let the thighs splay out. Of course, with the block there, the block would fall out if you let your thighs splay out. And then, of course, hold it. Hold it, just like we held the cobra. Hold it. That's good. All right, now take the brick out, come down. Put the brick, so you're going lift up, put the brick underneath your pelvis, take the knees into the chest. Allow your lower back to spread. And then when you're ready, you're coming into our last pose, or Shavasana, Adho Mukha Virasana, with the blanket at the root of the thigh. Take enough height, doesn't have to be the full roll of the blanket, but enough height so that this part of your lower back spreads right here at the sides of the navel that I pointed out in the Supine Tadasana. That's good, Lana. Yeah, if you want to take a Viparita Karani with the block on the high side, that's fine too. Okay, just rest there. The arms can be in front of you, it can be out to the side, however you, or even down beside your hips, whatever comes ease for you now, just intuitively. Arms reaching forward, arms reaching out, arms reaching backward. But do have the support in child's pose for your lower back to spread. And Val, you can experiment. So that's a fairly thick roll, maybe, just, you go back and forth, maybe try it a little less than that. It's interesting how the roll, yeah. And then imagine I'm standing behind you, yes, with those tail ends of the blanket, Val, that's it, pulling it back. So you get that traction. So that's it, as though someone were standing behind you. Of course, having been in class and having these adjustments made on you, your body does have that memory. So I wanted you to do this before Shavasana. I want you to do it after Shavasana as well. So keep your props near they are. Now you can use the blanket in the way I've described for headaches, migraines. Putting the blanket is like a shroud. It's like acting like a Shanmukti Mudra position. So you're putting the blanket on your forehead skin. And with your fingertips, you're pulling the forehead skin down, right toward the cheekbones. Oh, that's so good. And then relax. Okay, use this blanket. To me, it feels better than the hands in Shanmukti Mudra because of the weight of the blanket. It has a very different experience than if you were to do the Shanmukti Mudra position, which is this, some of you know. This position with the 4 fingers at the nostrils and index finger, middle fingers in the corners of the eyes, and then the thumbs in the ears. Although it does get that the thumbs in the ears removes the sound. But the weight of the blanket really helps. So you could all, if you don't have the blanket, you just do it with your fingertips. Move the skin on from the crown of the head, or really not even that far down, but the scalp, where the scalp and the forehead meet, forehead, eyebrows. Feel like the skin is moving down to the cheekbones and spread. And just rest there. Let the mental energy, as I said earlier, move down and sense the wisdom rising from the belly, the 2 meeting in the center. Feeling space at the center of the chest. Sense that quality of roominess, spaciousness, to be with anything that arises in your experience, come what may. We can't control the things that arise in our experience. The only thing we can control is how we relate to them. And much of the time, our own suffering is caused by relating to them in the same habitual patterns that perhaps make us suffer more. So there's the pain, and then there's the add-ons, the projection of what's it going to be like in 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Come into the present, come into the here, come into the now. And sometimes it can be helpful just to repeat now, or atta, which in Sanskrit means now. Use this time well for your mind and your body to relax deeply. When there's spaciousness in the body and the mind, balance comes. A prone. Say that child, repeat child's pose. If you go onto your belly, as we've done all morning, then of course, drawing back to child's pose is intuitive. So I'll give you a choice, either child's pose as we just did 5 minutes ago, or just prone shavasana. Prone shavasana is a very helpful tool to involute the senses. Very nice to do child's pose, shavasana, child's pose, or shavasana supine, prone shavasana. So now child's pose over prone shavasana. So child's pose for some of you who are hanging out with the blanket. Adho Mukha Virasana. Shavasana. Decentralize your arms. If you haven't done a prone out of your child's pose, sit for a moment. So
Ronnie,
yes.
you were having a little bit of internet issues, so you
Yeah.
froze.
I know, I saw that, I thought maybe some of you couldn't hear me.
Yeah,
That was-
towards
yeah.
the end we couldn't, but
But
Yeah,
we know,
that-
what,
I thought-
we
figured
know
it out.
what to do. We know what to do.
I thought that was
Don't
happening,
worry about it.
but thank you. So, you know, this was not exactly what I did, but
Yeah, forget it. I can't hear you.
Right? It was a great class, Ronnie, regardless
Yeah.
of what you had planned. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
thank you, Lana, but can you hear me?
No, you're going in and out even
Yes,
after you.
I'm not quite sure what's going on, you
Your
know.
picture isn't even up. You're black screened now.
Oh, geez, this happened like 2 Fridays ago. Remember, Lou Mill, when it went out?